This video is being brought to you by Cutting Edge Gamer. If you upgrade graphics cards often, Cutting Edge Gamer is the perfect option for you. Lease the newest graphics cards on the market, such as Nvidia's RTX 20 series, for a low monthly payment. Click the affiliate link below in the description to find out more.
So I never thought I would see the day where Intel was scrambling to keep up with AMD, but here we are on the eve of the Zen 2 chips being released, and they're absolutely insane. So insane that they're making my Threadripper 1950X rig now look irrelevant. I didn't even get it 2 years ago. Spent a lot of money on it too. Thanks, AMD. Skip it up and that up. So AMD has officially revealed their full line of Zen 2 processors, and they're insane, man. They go from 6 cores to 16 cores, just like my Threadripper 1950X, and the price to performance that you're getting is insane. Here's the chart showing the different chips. Now, all of these processors minus the 3950X are coming out on July 7th. The top of the line, the 3950X processor with the 16 cores, 32 threads, is coming out this September. They probably need more time for production and want to get heating issues out of the way and make sure the chip is solid, which I'm fine with. Rather have a company delay something just like games than rush it out and have there be hardware issues. Galaxy Fold, anybody? Well, anyway, here are the different Zen 2 processors that are coming out. It starts with the Ryzen 5 3600. It's going to have 6 physical cores, 12 threads, a base clock of 3.6, a boost clock of 4.2, 32 megabytes of L3 cache, going to support PCIe 4.0. All these new Zen 2 chips are going to support PCIe 4.0. TDP of 65 watts. It's only going to be $200. Then we have the 3600X, which goes for $250. It has a higher base clock and boost clock. Then we get into the 8-core chips from Ryzen. You have the Ryzen 7 3700X, 8-core, 16 threads, base clock of 3.6 gigahertz, boost clock of 4.4 gigahertz, 32 megabytes of L3 cache, and that goes for $329. If you want to spend more on the Ryzen 7 3800X, which goes for $70 more, $399, you get a higher base clock and boost clock. All the other specs seem the same. Then we start getting into super beefy territory. We have the Ryzen 9 3900X with 12 cores, 24 threads, a base clock of 3.8 gigahertz, a boost clock of 4.6 gigahertz, 6 megabytes of L2 cache. As you see, when you go up the line, they add more L2 cache as well. I should have mentioned that. And this has a TDP of 105 watts, goes for $499 US. Now, the big dog, which is coming out in September, is the Ryzen 9 3950X. Again, this makes my Threadripper rig irrelevant. 16 cores, 32 threads, a base clock of 3.5 gigahertz, a boost clock. This chip has the most cores and has the highest boost clock of 4.7 gigahertz, has 8 megabytes of L2 cache, 64 megabytes of L3 cache, and it has a TDP of 105 watts, and this chip is going to be the most expensive, even though for what it gives you, it's still a hell of a bargain. It's $750. And if you want a GPU to take advantage of those PCIe 4.0 slots that you have on your new Zen 2 motherboard, you could get the AMD Radeon 5700 XT, which is the new graphics card coming from AMD, or the AMD Radeon 5700. Those are based on the RDNA Navi architecture, and they're PCI 4.0 capable. Now also too, with this 16-core chip, again, my poor Threadripper rigs, AMD is offering higher clock speeds, lower TDP, and then superior instructions per clock over Threadripper. So these chips are a lot cheaper, that's 16 core, and it's actually going to outperform my Threadripper rigs for a lot less money. I'll get over that one of these years, probably in about 10 years. Look, all jokes and me roasting myself aside, I'm so glad to see that there's some, I don't even know if stiff competition is the right word. That might be an understatement for Intel. Intel just rested on its laurels for so many years. How many years, iteration after iteration of their quad-core Core i7 CPUs. Oh, we refined the fabrication process, and we made it, now it's down to this nanometer, now it's down to that nanometer, and they made it seem like 4 cores, 8 threads was like top tier, couldn't get any better than that, you know, for mainstream consumer chips. And here's AMD with the Ryzen, when they came out with Ryzen in early 2017, and just Intel wasn't ready for it. Well, I didn't expect it. I'm like, all right, because we came from FX and the 8350 and all those other FX processors. Intel's mid-range offerings back then were keeping up with AMD's top-of-the-line 8350. And quad-core i7s were destroying the supposed 8-core FX 8350 from AMD. So it just, there was no comparison, and AMD couldn't keep up. And you know, even the 8350, they were still supporting it in 2016, was only PCIe 2.0. Intel really didn't have any competition. Now, not only do they have competition, they can't keep up with AMD. And here is AMD offering an affordable 16-core, 32-thread chip, okay, that they're calling the world's first gaming. They said it's going to be good for gaming for an affordable price. What does Intel have right now in the consumer market? I'm not talking prosumer chips or Intel Xeon chips. They have the 9900 KS right now, which all of its cores could boost to the same clock speed, which that's cool, but it ain't comparing to a 16-core, 32-thread chip, the 3950X from AMD. It's not. It's not. And I think that the Ryzen chips perform just fine in games. It's great to see that Intel has some competition because, again, just like I talked about in the gaming industry, when we get competitors, we get better products, and competition means we get better products for better prices, and in the end, we win. And AMD, being as ambitious as it is and releasing these awesome new processors, is a big win for us, even if you're not a fan of the company. This is Rich of Review Tech USA signing out. Have a good one.